Today, we are going to take a look at some of the new campaign features in Total War Warhammer 2. Every race has its own unique mechanics and playstyle, both in battles and campaign. But in this video, we are going to focus on features that are available to all factions in the game. Now, of course, the biggest new feature is the giant Race for the Vortex objective, but today we're going to have a look at some of the other new things in the campaign. First of all, climates. In Total War Warhammer 2, every race is able to capture every single settlement in the game. This means that you're able to conquer and occupy the entire map if you want to. Total War Warhammer 2's campaign map is huge with multiple continents and therefore multiple climates. Every race favours a specific climate type and you should plan your conquests accordingly. A faction which favours the cold north, for example, like the Dark Elves, will struggle in the desert or the jungle. There are 10 different climates in the game and they are divided into suitable, unpleasant and uninhabitable depending on the race you're playing. The Lizardmen, for example, prefer the savannas, deserts or jungles, as you can see here. Wastelands, frozen regions and chaotic wastelands are pretty much uninhabitable though, and all other climates are unpleasant for them to live in. Settlements that are located in unpleasant or uninhabitable climates suffer from additional penalties. Occupying this settlement in the mountains, for example, will result in -1 public order, plus 30% construction costs, -8 casualties replenishment, an extra 3 turns of construction time for the main settlement buildings, and -15% income because of the unpleasant climate. The penalties can get real nasty for cities in uninhabitable climates. Income is halved, recruitment takes an extra turn, construction time is doubled, and many more nasty effects will apply to your settlement. Still, these problems could be worth bearing for the sake of owning a high-level recruitment centre near the enemy's territory. Always be sure to keep climates in mind when planning your conquests. In Total War Warhammer 2, you're also able to perform rites in the campaign. Every race has access to 4 unique rites that affect your campaign in a positive way. They are all very powerful and most of them can be performed multiple times. These here are the rites for the Dark Elves, which are all themed around sacrifices. You will need to fulfill a special assignment in order to unlock these abilities. Sacrifice for Authority, for example, requires you to issue the Demand Highborn Hostages commandment. Once you've done this, you're able to perform the rite by sacrificing a couple of slaves, in this case 100. Slaves are a new resource, unique to the Dark Elves. A rite will usually remain active for a couple of turns, as you can see here. There is a cooldown period as well though, which can be found right next to the duration. The effects are really powerful. A sacrifice for Mathan allows you to recruit a Black Ark, for example. However, this rite is very expensive as well. All races have completely unique rites. Some perform them by paying gold, others by spending resources like slaves for the Dark Elves. There is also a lot more to explore on Total War Warhammer 2's campaign map. Settlement ruins, for example, can be delved into for hidden treasure. When hovering over a ruined settlement, a chest icon might appear indicating that you're able to search the place for treasures. In this case, we have found a skeleton carrying a sword with a strange purple glow. There are multiple things that we can do here, as you can see. You never know what the result will be though, so anything may happen. In this case, we decide to take the sword. It results in us gaining a new weapon which can be used by any lord or hero. Now there's a variety of things you can discover in ruins, such as gold, magic items, campaign or battle effects, but also very negative things can happen. Also keep in mind that every ruin could be infested by the vicious Skaven, so it's best to use a hero to scout the ruin first. There's also a lot to explore at sea. You may encounter interesting things such as shipwrecks or a mysterious island like this. You can explore these sites with a seaborne army, and in this case we have found a strange campsite. We are able to choose between 2 actions. One will improve our army in battle and one in campaign. We decide to go after those who escaped. Some of these exploration results are really powerful, so be sure to make use of them. Not everything on the sea is positive though. Always keep an eye out for deadly maelstroms and other hazards, as they will deal major damage to your army. Rogue armies are another new thing in Total War Warhammer 2. Bands of roving armies will appear through the course of your campaign, and they offer an interesting new challenge. You can recognise these forces by their black and red faction banner. They are also themed and may even contain units from different races. In this Lizardman campaign, for example, an elven expedition has showed up near Kotek's Causeway. These armies aren't necessarily hostile, however, they will try to capture a settlement or colonize a ruin eventually. You can engage with them in diplomacy and they might even prove themselves as useful allies. Rogue armies will provide a new challenge in your campaign, and they will also give you the chance to fight against some exotic army builds with units from multiple races. As your lords fight battles or engage in certain activities on the campaign map, they'll gain new traits that will affect their abilities. In Total War Warhammer 2, you're able to track and level up these traits. In this case, Mazdamundi is already level 24 and has gained a good amount of traits. He is a superior attacker, which is the highest level of this trait, as you can tell by the progress bar. The traits also note that Mazdamundi gained it because of him winning offensive battles, but if he were to suffer defeat in multiple offensive battles, this trait could have gotten a lot worse. The builder trait is still level 1 though, and in order to level up he needs to be present in regions during construction. There are a bunch of new traits in the game, and with this system you will be able to track them in order to get the strongest lord you can possibly get. That's all for this campaign features spotlight. Be sure to follow the official social media channels for the latest updates and subscribe on YouTube for more Total War videos.